But first, a recap maybe for the people that are here for the first time about DataOps. What is it all about? So just wondering how many people of you are have a technical background or are performing a technical role at this point. Okay, great. So DataOps, first of all, is not a technical term per se. It's a combination of methodologies, processes that need to exist inside a company to use data as efficiently as possible. So it's for all people. It should be easy for all people with or without a technical background to access data inside a company. So of course, that's not the case in many companies today. So we need to find solutions to that, and DataOps is trying to provide those solutions to help companies with the right processes, the right methodologies. Of course, first of all, you need an idea of what you want to do with your data, the amount of insights you want to use. For example, you want to measure the efficiency of a product that you're distributing to customers. Maybe one product may give you better revenue, but the margins that you get on it are actually quite low. So stuff like that, you want to aggregate your data. But of course, you need some sort of insight. So if we go back in the chain, you need to build those insights first in order to get that idea rolling and to get the necessary information to yourself or to your systems to make sure that you can make those decisions efficiently. And so in order to get that information, to get that insight, you of course need the right data sources. So if you go way back into the technical part of things, you need systems, databases inside your company, or data that exists with people, with their systems. Might even be an Excel file that just drifts around inside a team. You need that data in order to make your insights, in order to help you make those decisions. So if we take the entire chain, DataOps is all about, once you have such an idea, how can we make sure that this entire process is a matter of routine inside your company? You have a new idea. How can you get the right data to get the right insights to help you in your decision or in your daily work? So with DataOps, we try to make sure that these processes are as automated as possible or are as easy as possible to achieve. Now, today we wanted to talk about something very specific. What if some of that data that you have is not sufficient to actually achieve those insights? What if all the data inside your company does not provide you with the relevant insights you need to make those decisions? And this is where we wanted to talk about today, because there's a big chance that you can find a lot of that data inside open data. So data that is publicly available for everyone, free to use. We publish commercially without restrictions, copyright, patents, or any control. Now, this definition also is under some scrutiny because mechanisms of control is, of course, a very broad term, and companies or government that opens up data, they want some form of tracking, of course, on who uses that data. So the mechanism of control is maybe a little bit too broadly defined, but let's put that aside for now. So examples of open data sets. The lucky thing is we're in Belgium, and Belgium is actually pretty good with open data, especially from the government side, because as you would expect, a lot of open data is actually provided by governments, since they already need to make a lot of those things known to the public. So why not do it through open data sources in a structured way? On a federal level, we have data.gov.be. On a regional level, in Flanders, we have opendata.vlaanderen.be. And even here in the city of Ghent, we have the open data portal by the city of Ghent, where we'll hear probably much more about in the next talk. But the thing is, there's a lot of open data sources available on the different levels, and that's even excluding European level, where I'll give you a very specific example of later. So things we've done in the past as a company, the easiest one, the straightforward one, is one of our customers is actually tracking visitors in malls, in shopping malls, but also in city centers. So weather data might be very relevant to them to associate good weather with higher visitor counts, or the other way around for city malls, for shopping malls. So you can see that getting that open data, weather information from the Open Weather API in this case, can actually provide you with additional information, enhancing, enriching the data that's already available inside a company with that open data to provide you with more insights. Another cool example of what we've done with open data is TED. Who is familiar with TED on the European level? Not the very cool talks, but Tender's Electronic Daily. No? Yeah, of course. Nobody? Okay, so this is actually a very cool resource for a lot of companies, and a lot of companies don't realize it yet. So Tender's Electronic Daily is on a European level an open data set of all the public tenders that are published by governments in the European Union, and by extension also a couple of countries in the European Economic Zone. So that means that all public tenders are published there, but also the companies that won the tenders. So a specific example of what we've done for, or what we're talking about here is, what if, as a building company or as a building supplier company, you wanted to know about the building companies that won the big tenders from government properties, building new buildings or renovating new buildings from the government themselves. You can actually find which companies that have won those tenders, get those in a structured format, reformat them to put directly into a CRM, and add a salesperson in your company to that case. And you could already be ahead of the curve, because you would have a file ready with all the necessary requirements, the necessary building materials they would need, even before they took up the phone and called you. So a very specific example of what you would be able to do with just one open data source, in this case, on a European level. So I don't want to take up too much time. I want to give as much time as possible to our speakers tonight. So I'll leave you with that. I hope the recap was clear, at least. And I would like to invite Bart and Joram to give our first talk of the evening. Thank you.